Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another weight loss video. I hope you enjoy. Underrated benefit of eating healthy. Everything tastes like heaven. Well, maybe not everything. I'm on what will hopefully be my last cut to go weight by this spring or summer, and I can say that after 10 days of perfect dieting, my taste buds have changed. I've noticed this in the past with stuff like plain raw tomatoes. Subtle salty flavor to them sign me up. But the other day, I was eating some meal prep food of mine that had some mixed veggies in it, and within that there was plain as hell carrots. I was in a rush, so I didn't put any food seasoning on, but man, I was caught off guard by the carrots. They tasted like a moderately sweet candy. What a freaking blessing that is. Most people would probably knee-jerk scoff at such a suggestion, but take 10 seconds to think it through. You're telling me I can just eat regular food like that and it tastes amazing? Seasonings are a bonus, but not really required. This makes adherence easier. Imagine healthy food tasting great. What a great thing to discover. For me, I noticed that really strong adherence over 2 to 3 weeks makes the taste bud change in a pleasant way, which makes sense since I've read the taste buds turn over every 2 weeks or so. It's really amazing how much processed foods dull our sense of taste. Being able to taste natural sugars and vegetables is awesome. Dude, I couldn't agree more. It makes it that much easier to adhere. I really want to jump into my car and buy some plain as hell corn on the cob. Like, I'm actually motivated to do this. It's amazing. I get insanely excited when corn on the cob goes on sale for like 20 cents an ear in the summer. I don't eat it totally plain, but I just microwave it in the husk and then eat it with salt. So good. I've been repeatedly amazed by the flavor and texture roasted veggies like broccoli and cauliflower have after just putting a little olive oil, salt, and pepper on them before roasting. Cauliflower especially gets this crazy buttery texture. It's delicious. If you told me several months ago that I'd be into almost plain cauliflower, I wouldn't have believed you. But your tastes really do reset once you remove most of the junk and processed stuff. Try microwaving a banana with a little cinnamon. It's amazing. I am a fan of sweet mini peppers too. I had to keep myself from buying more beets because they were too delicious. And while beets are nutritious, eating too many at once does not make my GI system happy. I'll buy more beets eventually when I can ration them out more reasonably. I couldn't agree more. I went from disliking almost all veggies and never eating them to having half a plate as a side for lunch and dinner almost daily. Learning how to actually season food is a huge game changer as well. I actually look forward to eating healthy meals now, and I feel great afterwards. I was never that big of a fan of carrots until my taste buds reset, and now they taste super sweet. I especially love stir-frying them to soften them a little. They're almost as sugary as certain candies, and it blows my mind how much more sensitive I am to their natural sweetness now. Your palate really does become desensitized by poor eating. Once you cut out all the extra refined sugar, you actually start to taste food that you once considered bland. I actually learned this about human anatomy and physiology classes I took at university, but they only talked about some hormones related to water retention and your tongue's up/down regulation of sensitivity to salt. What I didn't know is that pretty much everything, not just salt, starts to taste way better. This is so true. I've been eating lots of veggies for a while, but my boyfriend just moved in with me last year and is still developing those fresh new taste buds. I made root veggie hash for brunch one weekend last month, and he couldn't stop eating it. All he could say between bites was, "How are vegetables so good? Why do these potatoes taste like cookie dough?" It's amazing how those natural flavors really come out more over time. When I switched to a whole food plant-based diet, I had no idea what I would eat. Now I crave super healthy things like Buddha bowls and hearty salads. Fridays used to be pizza night. Now I spend like 2 hours making a huge batch of healthy ingredients to make green bowls all weekend. Once you realize how good vegetables taste and how good healthy eating consistently feels, it's so much easier to stick with it. Penn Jillette, when talking about his crazy weight loss, says that he ate nothing but unseasoned potatoes for 2 weeks to reset his palate. He said the first thing he had when the 2 weeks was over was some corn, and it tasted like candy. There was a time when processed foods didn't exist. People ate home-cooked meals every day and would go to eat real food that was prepared in a kitchen that wasn't their own very rarely. But somewhere along the way, we industrialized food and started caring more about shelf life and consistency than about nutrition. So as we created more shelf-stable foods with scientifically chosen perfect ingredients to create perfect textures, we started adding tons of fake flavors to go along with it. Watermelon candy is my go-to example. None of it tastes anything like watermelon. Watermelon is a flavor that's practically impossible to replicate. So the answer is to just simply eat watermelon when you want watermelon. If you apply this to other foods, you're left eating more of the real stuff, instead of fake, processed, and flavored foods that you wouldn't eat if they didn't have those flavorings added anyway. Thank you for sharing your positive experience. Maybe you've lessened someone's worries about having to eat bland forever. Maybe you've even awakened some curiosity and a will to explore. The effect you described is even higher if you buy food with the high quality. For example, fruits and vegetables that grow in your region and can fully ripen because it's the right season for them. It is tasteable whether or not it's harvested unripe and traveled around the world, and more nutrients survive and it's less CO2, but this is about taste, so I'll keep this short. Definitely. I usually buy the cheapest of everything, and for lots of things that doesn't matter, but I'll always scour for the really good tomatoes, a certain brand or organic being on sale, because with tomatoes, it makes such a difference. Yes, this. When I ate at my healthiest, I was just craving chicken salads, mangoes, melons, strawberries, cucumber even. I've recently kind of fell in a ditch and ballooned out to my heaviest, eating all the kind of crappy and processed foods, and now I'm constantly craving chips, chocolate, and fried stuff. It's crazy how much our perception of foods can change. I've restarted eating healthier 2 days ago, and I already feel so much better, but the cravings stay. I can't wait to crave all the delicious fruits this summer. You can do it. Also, probably not going to have to adhere even that long for it to change again. I literally noticed this change within a few days sometimes. Let's say realistically you can just power through for like 2 weeks, then it will reset. Totally worth it. I needed to read this. I'm getting addicted to processed crap again because of the Easter treats, and I really need to get back to cleaner eating. Just thinking about how yummy everything tastes and refreshing makes me want to get back to it, but I get those stupid processed food cravings. I need to be strong for 2 weeks. It's so funny you say this. Everyone thinks I'm crazy because bananas taste buttery to me. It's so delicious. And one day I was running errands and had to pick up my daughter from school. I hadn't eaten lunch and was hungry, so I looked into a bag of groceries that I just bought. There was a pack of Kaiser rolls from the bakery, so I ate just one, just plain by itself. It tasted so sweet to me, it was like a donut. Every once in a while, when I'm craving something sweet, I buy a single Kaiser roll and eat it, and it takes away the sweet craving. There's this mania of wanting to add tons of sauce or 20 different seasonings that never made sense to me. People think that any dish with only a drizzle of oil and a couple of herbs is bland, but that's the problem. If you saturate your taste buds, you'll never be able to appreciate the food on its own. Just right now, I had lunch and I decided to treat myself, as I've been doing some heavy work this morning, with a small spoonful of aioli sauce. Adding more would absolutely screw my fat goals for today. That thing is 75% fat, it's crazy. But even after less than a week of forgoing heavy sauces, it was heavenly good. Okay, yes, I totally agree. For example, I've discovered that lemon-flavored low-fat Greek yogurt tastes incredible. Like lemon meringue pie, but way healthier. I'd eat that over any candy-filled ice cream any day of the week. I found that dates are the perfect thing to nibble on with coffee. The sweet taste of the dates superbly complement the bitterness of the unsweetened coffee. And when I make oatmeal with vanilla and cinnamon and sweetened with just a touch of maple syrup, pretty much everyone in the vicinity gets bug-eyed with, "OMG, what's that? Something smells amazing." But, OMG, less healthy food tastes better too. I loved chocolate before, especially Lindt and other reasonably high quality chocolate, but since I fixed my diet to be healthier, it's become manna from heaven. It's so good. Or to use another example, last night I had eaten another 1,000 calories, but wasn't really feeling anything in the house in that quantity. So I walked to the store to buy a 200-gram bag of spicy dill pickle chips, and dear lord, they were so tasty. I feel the same way mostly, only some things are so overpowering tasty that they kind of become gross. Mostly, they're heaven on earth though. Female 21, a 5'5". In 8 months, I went from 225 pounds to 160. I still have a way to go, but I love this community and I'm starting to love this new body.